Hello, I'm Rosy Hardy and this is Hardy's Cottage Gardens Potting Shed. And today we're going to be talking about a really brilliant garden perennial called Gaura. It's a fabulous thing. Most of the varieties grown in the gardens tend to be from the Lindheimeri breeding, and that is a species which is really good. A lot of the other species, of which there are only 22 in this small family of plants, are a little bit weedy, but the Lindheimeri types are excellent, and there are so many different types within that group that you can use for your garden. These are really excellent border perennial plants, and they flower all summer long, right the way through from the beginning of July or even earlier into the end of November. What other plant will give you flower for such a long time? And the beauty of them is you don't have to do any deadheading. Now that's got to be a bonus growing any plant in the garden. You know how much hard work it is. So if they don't need deadheading, they don't need a lot of help, just put them into a lovely sunny spot, good soil, and they will be really fantastic for you. They are also something that will grow from a small plant like this that you put in probably the middle of June, and they will grow and make a plant which is as big as this. Look at that, it's right the way up to my height. And can you imagine that? As dancing butterflies in the middle of the border, mixed borders with grasses, with echinaceas, all of those sorts of things, and they look fantastic. They are one of the best summer flowering perennials you can get. Here at Hardy's we've been breeding Gaura for a few years, and we started out with one called Gaura Chiffon, which was a beautiful little pale pink one. Usually the Lindheimeri varieties are white flowered, and they tend to fade to pink as they die off. The Chiffon was a beautiful pale pink, and that's a really sweet one. But since then we have gone on and we have produced other varieties. So a slightly dwarfer variety we introduced has this fantastic ruby coloured foliage, and the flowers are beautiful dark pink like this, and they are really super. They are fantastic dark pink, and with the combination of this lovely dark foliage here, this one we named Ruby Ruby, as in the song. But we were also then thinking of other plants that we could carry on with, and after we had done that one, we then struck upon this fantastic new variety here. Look at the colour of these flowers. Look at that wonderful dark pink pickety edge with the white in the centre. Isn't that fabulous? This one is called Rosy Jane. She is a really real beauty and fantastic. And she actually shows the way that these flowers are zygomorphic, which means that they are only actually down one plane can you see that they are symmetrical. If you went the other way, it wouldn't work. They are the most superb flowers when you look into them. Gaura Rosy Jane is one of these elegant ones that has these beautiful arching flowers and branching, and it can get to being this size if not bigger in the border, and they just waft. The flowers will just sit there in the breeze and waft and look fantastic. Gauras are traditionally solid colours, either plain white, plain pink. Obviously we broke the mould and we ended up with these wonderful bicoloured flowers. So where do you go from there? Well, from Rosy Jane we went to Free Folk Rosy. Free Folk Rosy has the wonderful bicoloured flowers, but also it has this amazing pale variegated foliage as well. So this is the new variety that we have launched this year, and it is superb. A lovely lower growing form. Again, it's going to be really good in the border. Having the variegation, it makes a cracking plant, and it looks fabulous even when it is just foliage before it then comes up and has these beautiful wafting flowers with the variegated flower on the end of it, and a cracking plant as well. Gaura are naturally a branching plant, but they do also grow from the basal pieces here, and to be able to encourage them to have far more branching on them, you can do this to your plant, which is cut it right back down and it will then put up loads more growth, and that makes a much better plant in your garden. One thing to remember with Gaura is that they can have these dark markings all the way through and then sometimes have green leaves. Don't worry, it is absolutely natural. Again, the same with this one here. It's got these little red dots on the leaf, and a lot of people think that that is leaf marking. No, they get freckles, a bit like redheads. And so don't worry, it is absolutely perfectly natural for them. How do you look after these plants for the winter? Well, the one thing to say is do not cut them right the way down to ground level down here, which is what a lot of people want to do. They want to tidy up their garden, get everything looking spick and span, and they go and cut right the way down there. That is no good for these plants. What you want to do is you want to go to about half height and you just cut them off like so, and then that is perfect for them to overwinter. In the spring, and we're talking about middle April, then you can cut them right the way back down, because they will just look like dead sticks. Do not be one of those people who thinks, oh gosh, dead sticks, I'd better just pull the whole plant out. Pull the whole plant out, it's gone. Leave it, cut it down to there in April, and you will be fine.